Roney and Edwards. What's his name? What's his name? Oh, Leon Edwards. So my mind's gone a bit weird now.
Alright, we'll twist you a little bit because of the reflection. Boom, we're in.
Thompson still.
Yeah, we knew that one in Liverpool.
Yeah, RDA Covington, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be at UFC 224, but they've changed it to UFC 225 in Chicago. And
So Aldo Stevens is off then?
Who?
Aldo Stevens was never a no. It was a no-go.
No, it was talked about, but then they're talking about putting it on the one in Canada in August or something.
Okay.
It's quite a good card, Aldo. Anyway, then you got the main one, Gara and Dillashaw 2 at UFC 227.
Yeah.
And then you've got Borg Moreno, got cancelled.
Yeah, because of McGregor, yeah.
Yeah, it's been rebooked at UFC Santiago, Chile. Homer Megan Anderson at UFC 225. That's the first featherweight fight. That's not a title. And how long they've had the division for? A year? Over a year?
Yeah, I think that's an absolute joke that they've brought in Megan Anderson, who's a natural feather, to fight home. When really, I think they're scared that she could actually beat Cyborg. And with that, they don't want to risk people that they're worried if they do lose, that everyone goes, they're shit now, and then that's it. So
yeah, they're not going to be pay-per-views to start that they were before.
Okay, any injuries or?
Nah.
No?
I don't think so. I'm not going to lie. It's been my brain's been a bit weird this week.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Why are you clicking?
Oh, you can hear it?
Yeah.
Alright.
You playing Fortnite, aren't you?
Yeah.
You dickhead.
I mean,
It's only an hour and a half.
I know, but it's just sitting there, isn't it? So.
Yeah, well, mine was until I pulled the plug on it, because I needed the plug socket for the laptop. Right, yeah, we were going to talk about the London card, because obviously we were supposed to talk about it last week on our UFC 223 cast, but obviously not doing that, we didn't talk about it. And now thinking back about talking about it, I don't even want to talk about it, because it was a pretty shit card.
Yeah, Leon Edwards looked good, but then there was times where I can't remember it. I don't want to talk about it.
So we'll quickly talk about last week's UFC 223, and then we'll move on to this week's.
Hey, shot.
Oi, knock it on the head. Fucking get off Fortnite, you cunt.
No, I will. That was just a great shot.
I need fucking points to rank up. We'll do it after this.
Oh yeah, I'm not playing it now.
Yeah, you lie until I hear clicking. So going through last week's card. Yeah, we've done it early this week because just the time difference. I'm not getting up at 4:30 in the morning. Not for about 8 of you to watch.
If that.
Yeah, I was. Right. Well, obviously McGregor destroyed the card. If anyone won last week, it was McGregor because he won about 4 fights because of what he took out.
What do you think's going to happen with him though?
Nothing.
There's no way he's.
Like I said to you,
He'll fight in the UFC. He'll do the end of the year card against a big name like Khabib or something because he needs that money to pay for the lawsuits and all that bullshit. 100%.
I can't get the prelims up. Oh, there's only 9 fights, wasn't there?
And then he's fucking. They'll actually no, I don't think they'll fight Khabib, but they'll do the Diaz trilogy in December.
What are you on about, right? The worst case scenario is that he gets felonies in the US because of what's done when he goes back on. I think it's June the 14th, something like that.
Yeah.
If he becomes a felon, then he'll struggle to fight in the US. But they'll bend the rule round for him to fight if they need to, because of the money he'll generate for the certain states that he fights in. But worst case scenario is that happens, UFC will just promote him all around Europe. And where's Russia in September?
Put him fucking
He'll fight Russia, he'll fight Ireland. Gives him a perfect excuse to do an Ireland one because he can't fight in America. He can still fight in Canada. He can still fight. US ain't the be all and end all.
Mexico.
Yeah, he can fight on anywhere, mate, and he'd still sell it out. So they won't.
Put middle fucking China. He'll say it.
Yeah, they'll put him in the markets they need cracking. So, if anything, it's a win-win for him, however it ends. UFC will come out on top. And talking to a few people here, they're saying they think McGregor will be more popular now from that, where other people said he'll be less. He'll be more popular, because he's actually a little thug, a little ginger thug. You're still playing it, you dickhead.
I'm not.
I can hear the gunshots. Fucking do this podcast, you wanker.
No, listen, I'm dead anyway.
Right, so, obviously, last week's card. Did you see any of the prelims?
What card was it? 223?
Yeah, Devin Clark versus Mike Rodriguez.
Yeah, I watched that. That Devin Clark just laid on him. But obviously, that Rodriguez, he's got a bit about him. He just didn't have to ground that other Devin had.
See, I can't watch.
Wrestling him.
I can't watch the prelims out here. Bet Rawlins, Ashley Evans Smith. I said that
was a good fight.
Yeah, but that Bet Rawlins is shit, mate. She's lost.
But she done some alright stuff.
She's shit.
She looked alright.
She's shit.
They both looked alright, but yeah, there's
obviously I was talking to you at the time when that Olivia Oben-Mercier KO'd Matey Boy. Because you went, whoa. At Carolina, she had a good fight against Felice Herrig. It was a split, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think Carolina won it.
Yeah, I did. Well, look, I've got on here total strikes 140 to 97. Landed, that was significant. 126 to 86.
Don't be going on that, because if that's the case, Joanna beat Rose.
Well, I haven't got to that one yet, but obviously Joe Luzon fought that Chris Gertson matcher.
His face was all bloody everything, man.
Yeah, he got performance of the night for that. And then obviously Zabit got moved up, your man. And
too much. He's too much.
Weidman's come out and said he's probably one of the best in the world at the minute.
Who said that?
Chris Weidman. Because I was watching something and Bisping said he'd never heard of him when he was doing his research for Fox before the card. Obviously, where he got moved up, Bisping was like, oh shit, I ain't got no research on him. I don't know who he is. And then he read that Weidman said he's probably one of the best at the moment in the world for his weight. Right. And Bisping was like, whoa, that's big praise coming from Weidman.
Yeah, right. Didn't I say about him before he was even in the UFC? I called it, and that he's just different level. Like, I didn't realise.
I missed that. I missed the first round of that fight, or the second round. I missed the first 2 rounds of that fight.
He was just coming out all these kicks, and the mate's throwing loads at him.
He looks right. That third round, from what I caught, the mate he fought, just especially the last 10-15 seconds, just walks up to him, hands down. Let's go. Yeah.
But that's a bit. He's fucking different. I remember Edgar and Orlando talk about him saying he's a fucking animal. And yeah, he's a fucking animal. Because of 45, he's tall compared to all the other fighters.
It's just like another Ortega.
Yeah, I'll say stand-up, he's probably got the best stand-up in the featherweight division. His wrestling is fucking no joke. I reckon he'll out-wrestle fucking most of them.
Alright, would you... Well, I was about to say, what would you say if he was going against Ortega?
I still think he would probably beat Ortega now. Tough fight, but I think he would do him.
And then you got Renato Moicano.
I predicted this.
Moicano versus Calvin Kattar. I had Kattar to win by decision because he impressed me last fight out.
No, but that Moicano, I know him. He's fucking... I watched him against Ortega. It's not obviously not this fight, his last fight, but he was beating Ortega up to the third round when he got tapped out. He's winning the fight. He's called for the winner of Edgar Swanson rematch.
And then you got the co-main, which was Namajunas Joanna, which I thought Namajunas won it. Fuck Rose.
Yeah, I thought 1, 2, and 5.
I thought even though you're saying, you were saying don't go by that because she threw more punches. I'll tell you, that's bullshit because she did not land that many. I thought there was so many times where Joanne was just throwing at air. She was just throwing combos in front of her face, like to keep her back almost. When Rose was throwing, she was actually hitting, and she was ducking and diving a lot better.
I felt like every time Joanna went in, that's when every time she went to do something big, like combo or whatever, she's the one that got the worst out of it. I know it's hard to say it now, but I think she could have won it if she didn't, if she kind of kept out of range more. I know she was trying to throw in a lot of jabs and shit, but I'm
glad she didn't because she's just such a dick. She's a bad winner as well as a bad loser.
But there's some basketball player or whatever. He's some sportsman. He came out and said on Twitter, he thought if you watch the fight back, he thought Joanna won it. I don't know.
Piss off! He don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know who he is. I don't know why I got him on Twitter. Well, I haven't.
Well, anyway, so for me, what happens with Joanna now? Does she go to flyweight? Does she give up on the strawweight now? They can't give her another shot, surely. She's been knocked out and beat.
Yeah, Rose does look good, but I still think Rose is well beatable. I think Arjan could give her a tough fight now. Don't get me wrong, I do think Rose.
Thing is, I said to you, I said this to Ronaldo just after the decision win for Rose. I've gone out and said that Joanne will never hold a belt again. Thoughts?
Gay. Nah, listen.
Well, if she goes to flyweight, she ain't picking up that belt. There's no way she's getting the shot first. First fight in flyweight, belt shot. No way. Not when Shevchenko's fought in that weight already.
If I was her team and I got offered Shevchenko fight, I would say no. Don't fight it. Because she's going to
She ain't beating Shevchenko. Shevchenko will make her look like a fucking amateur.
It'll be around one.
Shevchenko will be too much for her, mate. She will destroy her.
In my eye, a lot of others' eyes, beat Nunes the second fight, so she should be the Bantamweight champion now. She's going to go and win that flyweight, and then she's a two-weight division champ.
I'll tell you what.
This is how confident I am in her, how good she is. I would have money on her to beat Cyborg.
I was about to say, I would even say she's probably the best female MMA fighter out there at the minute.
Yeah, she is. She's the best pound-for-pound fighter, even though
in women.
Dustin Nunes, but if you watch back, did she? From what I see,
she's got it all.
The fifth round, she went for that takedown. She actually gets it because she lands on top of her, but as she lands on top,
it rolls over.
But then quickly gets out. So she's already got taken down, but she just gets the better position at the back, gets her back. But everyone else see it as she reversed. No, she fucking didn't. If you watch it, she lands on Shevchenko gets her down. It's fucking stupid. And
then the main event, which changed. Well, apparently it was obviously originally going to be. There's been that many changes. I can't even remember. Ferguson. Then obviously Holloway got offered it, and it was obviously due to medical condition of cutting too much that he lost the fight. It was apparently it was offered to Pettis and Felder and Al Iaquinta were all offered it apparently, but it fell in the lap of Al Iaquinta. And to be fair, and I'll be quoting what Kevin Lee said, a guy that's not fought that much in the last year and a half, been selling houses as obviously an estate agent, come in, supposed to be fighting 3 rounds and end up fighting 5, and has revealed some big holes in Khabib Nurmagomedov's game. Thoughts?
I really don't rate. He looked good against Barboza, and because he's just thrown to the ground there. Yeah, fair enough. Barboza didn't really want it anyway near the end. But I don't think they're saying he's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters ever. Like, how is he? Oh my god! I've read a thing. He's only fought 2 top 10 guys in his whole career. How can he be best pound-for-pound, one of the best pound-for-pound ever, or even best lightweight ever? If you only fought 2 of the top 10.
Like I said to you as well the other day, a good striker gets him out.
McGregor would absolutely. I don't trust me. Everyone goes, Khabib's he'll would kill McGregor. No, he wouldn't. If you really look at his stand-up, he's too fucking open. McGregor would pop him. He would rock him like Michael Johnson did.
I think people are now saying, had Ferguson been fit, in hindsight, having seen what our Quint has done, they're now like almost going, fuck. Ferguson probably could have had him as well. A fit Ferguson.
100% Ferguson.
El Kukui.
Even on the ground, I think he throws them elbows from the bottom, cuts you up, all blood running down your face, hard to see, gets you in a submission. He's just like a snake. He gets you it's fucking hard to get out of his shit. Like Kevin Lee even said, like he's just fucking slippery, man.
Kevin Lee's been calling him out for 2 or 3 years, he reckons.
I tell you what, this might sound crazy. I like Kevin Lee. I think he's one of the best in the lightweight division.
Oh, that's crazy.
I really do. I think Ferguson,
I might sound crazy. That's crazy.
Is that what I said?
I know this might sound crazy, but Kevin Lee and I went, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah, on my head. But anyway, the Tony Ferguson fight, he was winning every round up to he got finished. He was out-muscling everything. He's throwing him about. He was fucking... Yeah, he had him. He had Ferguson in the bag. But then he just gassed down. Fair enough. So Ferguson done what he had to do.
The thing is, like Luke said, Nurmagomedov's a one-trick pony. In that he locks your 2 legs up in between his legs, and then he grabs your arm from behind your back, pulls it away from underneath you, so your chest's open, and his other hand's free just to whack you in the face, and that's it. And people just can't get out of the strength of him.
Yeah, but when he next loses, or when he does lose his first fight, then after the weight that he's lost, everyone going in there, and he'll lose a few in a row. He'll lose a few. It's like fucking, what is it? Like Joanna now. I think people, now she's lost a couple, I think they're going to go and take her down, sort her out on the ground.
Well, it's that fear factor's gone now, because you know, Joanna had beaten grapplers and jiu-jitsu and stand-up. She'd beaten all different sort of styles. And then when you're beating all different styles, obviously people don't know what to do. It's like, oh shit. But for me, she's got good work rate, but it's all for show. It's like punching air, kicking air, making loud noises. So people go, oh, how many times do you see when you hear the sound, and they go, oh, but it might be the sound of him or her kicking, and they put a hand up to block, and it's hitting his arm. And they go, oh, and because it's near the head, they're like, oh, that's a fucking head kick there. And it's like, well, no, he blocked it. How many of them sounds get given as actual hits when they're not?
If you're watching a fight and you're listening to Rogan, then he talks so much shit. He's fucking licked someone's ass, then he goes, oh, yeah, they're not that even.
What, you calling Rogan out? You calling him out?
He's a fucking idiot.
You call him out? You calling him out?
What do you mean calling him out?
Call out Rogan, go on.
I said he's a fucking idiot. Don't get me wrong, I like his podcast. It's funny.
Oh, hello. Licks his arse and batters him up. And then Ronaldo's just done it.
No, listen. I'm saying his podcast, he's alright to listen to sometimes, but then he goes back on it over. So, like, say, on his podcast, Khabib's an animal. He's an absolute animal. Then he goes on the thing, goes, yeah, Khabib's not looking good. I think Tony Ferguson and McGregor will be screwing at this right now. But you said he's fucking one of the best. Now you're saying he'll get beat by... He'll struggle against Tony Ferguson and McGregor. Like.
It's the weed, mate.
Stick to your word.
He smokes too much weed. He don't know what he's doing.
And then before he went, Jose Aldo's on steroids. They checked him and he was fine. Like, how can he call that? That's fucking harsh. Calling someone out saying, they're on steroids. Oh, no, you're not. Fucking.
Right, well.
Pisses me off.
We've aired our grievances on certain fighters and things. Let's move on to UFC on Fox 29 this weekend. Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Good fight. There's a couple of decent fights on the card. Coming in live from Glendale, Arizona. We'll kick off the early prelim on the UFC Fight Pass. First fight, Luke Saunders versus Patrick Williams. Saunders lost his last fight, didn't he?
Yeah, he got knocked out by that fucking
Andre Sukumtaf or whatever, the one that O'Malley beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked alright in that fight. I think he just got caught, didn't he?
I don't actually watch that.
Yeah, I do. I remember watching it, and I think he was doing alright, and then he just got a bit sloppy and went a bit wild and got rocked. Because he was rocked. I don't think he got completely knocked out, because at the end of the fight you could see he was well pissed off with himself. Where he was like, oh shit. But I don't know who this Patrick Williams is, and he's got as many losses as wins almost. So I see nothing but a Saunders win here.
Well, Saunders has lost his last 2 fights.
Yeah, but he's 11-2. But what I'm saying is that the Patrick's 8-5. So it's almost like they've put him in with someone that he should beat to sort of get his confidence again, to then start progressing again. Because at one point, like I say, take them 2 losses off, he was up there. He was starting to become a half-decent bantamweight. But he's just had a little bit of a rocky spell at the minute,
I'd have win.
Yeah, I fancy him to win. I'd imagine he's just going to be too much all round for that Patrick Williams. I don't really know a lot about Patrick Williams. No, so I'll have to have a little look.
The Kesnoy or whatever he's called.
Dukenwa.
No? Yeah, Dukenwa then. He just lost to him.
Who, Williams?
It's not a bad loss really, but...
No. The second fight is Matthew Lopez versus Alejandro Perez. Another bantamweight division fight. You can check on our YouTube channel in the description for the fight card if you're not sure. We always write it on there, so you can always have a look there. So yeah, go on, Ronaldo. Any thoughts on that?
Perez is alright. He just beat Alcantara, Yuri.
Yeah.
Beat Andre, the one that O'Malley just beat.
Yeah.
He's won all his UFC fights. He's had 2, 4, 6. He's won out of his 7 UFC fights. He's lost 1 and drew 1. So he's won the other 5.
Oh, okay.
But he lost that Patrick Williams. I think that the guy just spoke about. That was 2015.
Oh, okay. So you're saying Lopez for this one?
Yeah. Perez is good enough, but no, yeah, I think Lopez. I think if I'm right, I don't know really. I just heard something about him. I'm not even sure if he's the right person I was on about. I don't know really. Yeah, I'll have Matthew Lopez to win.
Okay.
And stuff. But yeah, I don't want him to win.
The third fight is Arjan Bhullar versus Adam Wieczorek. You're saying this Arjan Bhullar is the first Indian fighter?
No, he's the first fighter with like a turban or something like that. They're saying. I read it on Twitter a minute ago. So he's going to walk out to the cage with a turban, so he's the first ever fighter to walk out with a turban or something like that.
Okay, well, as I say, he's fighting out of Canada on there.
Yeah, but they said on
this
UFC,
is a heavyweight fight as well.
Yeah, there's UFC Twitter thing called UFC India, so I don't know if he's from India. It says Canada, like you said, but...
He might be he might be Indian born and then moved.
Yeah.
But he's 7-0 as well versus a 9-1. I don't care where he's from. I think the pole will be too strong. He's got a 4-inch height reach. He's heavier.
I'm looking at the picture.
He lands a hell of a lot more in it per minute. Nearly double what the other guy lands.
He beat that Anthony Hamilton.
Who?
Adam. The pro one.
Okay. Well, I'd go just because I think they're just using him to tap into another market. So I think he'll get a loss here.
I'll go undefeated.
There's the this is a 6-fight This is a 6-fight early fight prelim card. So we're moving on to the 4th of the 6. Dhiego Lima versus Yushin Okami. Now that Dhiego Lima, he was in that Ultimate Fighter with Dillashaw and Garbrandt.
Just in the final to Jesse Taylor, didn't
it? It was him. I was just thinking, was it him? But he looked alright. I fancy him in this one. I think he'll do alright in this.
Yeah, I thought he was alright. I'd have him to win. I think he's more. The other guy's more of a ground guy, isn't he? So I think if he can keep it standing, I think he'll do well.
He looked quite good in that show. I thought, if anything, I'd rather him win than that Jesse Taylor, because he's been done for.
Holy shit! Wait there. That Okami, and didn't he just fight over in St. Peru? Yeah, didn't he?
Oh, he might have done.
And he's going down. So that's light heavyweight. He's gone down to fight him at welterweight. Holy shit! He did. He just lost over in St. Peru and Ronaldo Souza in the last 2 fights, and now he's going down to welterweight. Fucking hell, that's a big drop, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think a weight cut could hurt him then if he's cutting that much. So yeah, I'm going to go Dhiego Lima. Pretty decision.
The 5th fight in the early prelim is Shana Dobson, who was off of the Ultimate Fighter. Who was the... it was Alvarez Gaethje, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, all women one, wasn't it? For the flyweight one. I know she was in that. Who was the one that got taken out because she kept breaking the weight? It weren't her, was it? Oh, it was Eubanks, wasn't it? Was that Eubank?
Yeah, Eubanks, yeah.
She was the one that kept thing. Luke, new start time, boys. Yeah, just because the time difference. I'm not getting up at 4:30 in the morning. So we're just trying it now because it's easier for me. And then we'll get back to normal time once I'm back. Yeah, that's Shana Dobson's fighting Lauren Mueller, who's 4-0. Dobson's 3-1 in the women's flyweight division.
She won with a knockout last fight, didn't she, Dobson?
Yeah, that's why I've gone with her. I fancy her to do this. I think she's pretty big. She's got a slight height advantage. I just fancy... I've not heard of that Lauren Mueller. I don't think she was in that house. Because a lot of them have fought each other again since they've come out.
She's undefeated, though.
Yeah, then I don't think she was. Because if you fight in the house, it almost goes against your record.
I think she's on that Dana White looking for a fight. Or no, Dana White looking at a Tuesday Night Contender Series.
What, she was on that?
Yeah, that's what they just went on a record thing and said that.
No, I think Dobson's going to... she's going to get me the KO. KO, motherfucker. Who's walked in?
Hi.
Ashanti, what are you doing?
You want to go on the camera quick?
In front of millions of people.
There's thousands of people in it.
Ashanti,
Quick,
come and give me a wave.
Quick, go, give us a wave. Only you though, yeah? Yeah?
Oh, I can see you.
Oh, she's good. Yeah, run away.
Hi. What do you know about UFC?
What do you know about UFC member fighting? What do you know about it?
I don't remember anything.
Right, you're no good to us. Get out.
Just a submission quick. Remember the one? Not on me. Remember? No, come on, remember that? This one.
What, the choke?
When I was being cleaned up.
She was beating Clint up yesterday.
I was like scared of him and he just tapped out.
He tapped out?
What, you tapped out Clint?
Yeah. Oh, she almost did. Yeah, how did you tap him out? What one was it?
I just lay down. Yeah, then I did the leg.
The triangle?
Yeah.
My
legs.
Oh, nice.
Alright, well, we'll get back to this now. Last fight on the early prelim. Riley's just asked how many subs we got because Luke's writing on the thing. And he's laughed a lot because we've only got 19. Right, last fight is Gilbert Burns versus Dan Moret.
Oh, I'm not. And Gilbert Burns followed us on Twitter.
Has he?
Yeah, he followed our Brothers Talk Sports account or something like that.
What, he's still on there?
I think so.
Well, shout out to my boy Gilbert Burns.
That's yeah. All of a sudden, you're your favourite fighter, yeah.
Nah, Fair play, Gilbert.
No, to be fair,
I fancy him for the win.
wait, I had Dylan White and Dan Hardy follow me on Instagram.
Had or they're gone now?
No, I think they still do. I don't check them out.
Get off Fortnite, you fucking idiot.
I ain't on Fortnite.
I just see the screen change in your face. Right, moving on to the prelim fight card.
Oh, wait. Gilbert Burns, he's good on the ground. I'll have him to win by sub.
It was a lightweight division fight, so yeah. Krzysztof Jotko versus Brad Tavares.
Jotko just been KO'd by Primetime Hall, ain't
Okay, that's at the middleweight. Well, I fancy Brad Tavares because I'm sure he looked good in his last couple of fights.
I keep seeing his face, but I don't know if I've ever seen him.
He's from Hawaii as well. He's one of the Hawaii boys.
They've got more fighters than what I thought.
Well, look, he's on a 3-fight win streak. He's beat
LSP,
K.O. Magales. He's beat Elias Theodoru and Thales Leites.
He's fought Romero and...
His last loss was Robert Whittaker.
That's not a bad loss, is it?
Nah. And he's lost to Romero and Boach. And other than that, he's won the rest of them. So, he's...
Yeah, I'm going Jotko.
You're going Jotko? That's Tavares I just read out.
Yeah, no, but I'm going Jotko.
You reckon Jotko's going to beat him?
Yeah.
Oh, don't talk shit.
I'm not professional, yeah?
Well, he lost his last 2 fights to David Branch and Uriah Hall. Give it a rest. Give it a rest. He hasn't beaten anyone of note at all.
Yeah, but
Not a chance.
He needs to win.
He needs a win. He ain't going to get. Brad Tavares is going to destroy him.
I'm going for a decision. Is he taller? I think he's taller.
No, they're the same.
Yeah, well...
So there goes your advantage.
Nah, he'll win by decision.
He won't. Tavares, so if you know...
I've never seen the other guy fight.
No, he's decent. He's decent. I've watched him. He's pretty nippy. He's decent.
Yeah, but you say fucking... I don't know. You think Cain Velasquez's decent?
You think Garbrandt's a champion still?
He fucking is a champion. I'm going to wait until UFC 227, August the 4th, when McGregor beat Diaz in a rematch. I think.
Yeah, which should never have happened. Diaz is 2-0 up in my eyes on that.
No, I'm not saying
they can't afford, like with Cyborg, they can't afford to risk it, mate.
Could he drop Diaz twice or something like that? Don't get me wrong, it's still a close fight. I don't give a fuck what happened. Long as Garland gets the win.
Right, the next fight is Wilson Reyes versus John...
Cain Velasquez is sick. I'm nothing against him. He is sick.
Right, lovely. Wilson Reyes versus John Moret is the next fight in the flyweight division.
John Moret, I keep seeing it. Well, I keep hearing about him. I've heard about him a long time. He hasn't fought in a while, I swear. He has his last fight, Ferguson Lee. He knocked out about the young...
Bibliatov. Performance of the night.
Yeah, he's
his last loss was Perez in 217 in January.
I don't know if it's me, got bad memory. I've seen all these cards. I've seen Ferguson Lee. I watched it. I just can't remember him.
He might have been on the early prelim, what we just said.
Yeah, Wilson Hayes. I think he's good grounder. He just had 2 tough fights, hasn't he? Demetrius Johnson, Henry Cejudo, 2.
1 and 2 almost, didn't it?
Yeah.
Other than that, he had won 3 before he lost them 2. His last loss before that was Formiga.
Which he's alright. He's one of the top.
And ones. Yuri Alcantara.
Yeah, see, when I watched Yuri, he's fucking good. Every time I watch him, he does well.
But that's not his weight. Flyweight, he obviously moved down. Because he's Bantam, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Bantam, yeah.
Well, I'd go Reyes.
I'm going Reyes.
Just because he needs
that win. Trains with the top team. He trains Dominic Cruz.
And like you say, those 2 losses don't do him justice, really. He's at the fight. Maybe he'll never be the 1 and 2 in the division, but he might be a strong 3 or 4 that can just sit there. Bit like an Arsenal or a Liverpool, just sitting and hovering in those spots where just enough. Yeah. Never a champion, just a contender.
Yeah.
The nearly man.
Yeah.
the next fight before we move into the main card. Oh no, there's 2 more fights before we move into the main card.
3 medkits, what a joke.
What are you doing?
Not really playing, I'm joking.
You are, you wouldn't have said that, you dickhead.
Look, I'm on my phone.
Yeah. Right, the next one is Muslim Salikov versus Ricky Rainey. I've heard of neither. And it's the welterweight division. Rainey's he's probably coming in off. Shit. Yeah, I've done it about 5 times already. He's probably coming in off of Tuesday night contender, isn't he? That Rainey. Well, he's got no previous fights.
His nickname, the Sniper.
Yeah, I see that. He fights out of where you're from. When you talk gas. He's fighting out of Gastonia.
Good one. That is the poorest joke I've ever heard.
Poorest joke you've ever heard. On Poirier versus Gaethje, I like it.
That is awful. That is awful. I don't know what to say.
Right, who are you going with? I can't call this fight because I've not heard of either.
I'll go for
Salikov.
I'll go for the other one.
What's the first fight on the main? Is it Michelle Waterson?
I think so.
That Boich Antonio Carlos Jr. is the last one on the prelim then.
Yeah, but I read Jotko was like one of the fucking...
Yeah, you read a lot of things, but they don't fucking know. Right, Boich versus Antonio Carlos Jr. Middleweight. He lost to Jacare and he beat Johnny Hendricks in performance of the night the last fight.
Yeah, what was that? 270?
Gaethje Lee.
Oh yeah, that went too far.
June.
I think I'm going to go to Antonio Silva. His ground, I think Bosch is where he does get beat.
I'm sure.
He's good submission, man. He's like black belt, I swear.
He's black belt. I'm sure this Carlos Jr. is shit.
Actually, I've seen him a few times. He's alright. I've seen it everywhere. Most times I watch him, he's won by sub.
Nah, he ain't winning.
Yeah,
Not a chance.
Do you know, he won the tough and he won it as a heavyweight. Do you know that?
Do you know he's only beaten Marshman, Spicely and Vittori? And
yeah, 3 pop.
And
the
Letko or something. They're all nothing fighters. And he lost that Daniel Kelly. The old school mate.
Daniel Kelly was alright.
He is alright. Yeah, he's just old. But that's what I'm saying. I think Boach will do him. I think he'll KO him.
No, don't get me wrong. Boach has got the power in that.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he's underrated. Yeah, maybe so.
No, he's not. That's his problem.
Doesn't matter about age. If you've got the fucking power and you get the right timing, see you later. You're off to beddy boys. You're playing Fortnite. I can see your tongue hanging out your mouth.
2 kills. I'm on a roll.
You're a dick. You only had to do this for an hour and 20.
No.
And we're 40 minutes in.
I'm doing alright. Only 34 left. I'm listening.
Well, I can only apologise if you're watching this and you're thinking, what a wanker playing Fortnite during this.
Listen, it's because of your boring stats.
There ain't no stats because we've just done this off the cuff today.
No, but I'm predicting that I'll play Fortnite and we'll come back and I'll predict Tony and Carlos Antonio, whatever he's called.
You can't even say his name.
Yeah, Antonio Carlos Jr. He'll win by submission in the second round. I'll go for.
No, he won't. He'll get KO'd.
Yeah, see, that's what Bosch always. It seems like his weakness is ground, and tell me I'm wrong because I'm right. I'm not. And yeah, he's gonna win by sub. Then he's fought heavyweights. He's dealt with that power and that. Don't worry about that. Don't get me wrong. Bosch can still knock him out, but I'm saying he's gonna get submitted. He's younger. He's fresher. He's taller. I think. Yeah, he must be taller. Yeah, so he's taller, he's younger, he's fresher, he's got the ground game. His stand-up's only going to improve. Bosch is old, he ain't got long left in the game. Cheers.
Of the stats that he's got that they show, he outdoes him on every stat.
numbers don't mean shit.
Stats don't lie.
Fair enough.
Right, well, moving on to the main event and the main card. So it weren't the main event, but the main card. First fight is Michelle Waterson versus Courtney Casey.
Listen.
There's a bit of a height advantage for Courtney.
Michelle should win this.
I'd like to think she'll get her to the ground and submit her. But I think with the height and Courtney's a bit more of a stand-up, I think it's going to be a little bit tough for her to initially get in close to get her. But I don't think that Courtney's any good though, to be honest.
No, she's not the best, but she's tough. She's had a good fight with Herrick, didn't they? Where they'll put middle fingers up and go,
yeah, well, she lost that one. But she's beat Jessica Aguila, that Mexican bird. She's lost to Cadella, Herrig. She's beat that Randa Marcos. See, she hasn't, and she's lost to some absolute pony fighters.
Her first loss was to
Calderwood.
Yeah, that's it.
Jojo.
No, well, it was still Pearl Gonzalez, her first loss.
Well, not in UFC, it won't.
No, but in that first MMA loss.
See, Waterson's coming off of 2 losses against Nam Yunus and Tisha Torres, to be fair.
Yeah, but
they're both
fair,
tough.
One's a champ and one's fucking produced
up there.
The title.
And then she beat, with performance of the night, she done Paige Van Zandt, who's fucking average at best. And Angela Magana. She's only fought 4 times in the UFC, so she's 2 for 2. 2 and 2, sorry.
She was Invicta champion, wasn't she?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, if Michelle don't win this, I don't see what. She's good. I've seen her fight.
She's good enough to definitely win it. It's just her getting in, and if she can get in close enough and grab her, then I think she's done for. I think Courtney will just get done up, get twisted up like a pretzel, as the King of Cordell would say. But I fancy Watson for that. I do. I'm looking forward to that fight. I like to see her back in the win column. Right, going into the second fight, and this is a bit of a potential star they're touting him as. Israel Adesanya.
He's fucking good. Trust me, he's an animal.
Still undefeated, middleweight. Fighting Marvin Vettori, who's pretty. He's got good endurance and durable. So it'll be a good fight. Be a good fight
Vettori,
for him.
He's a 24-year-old fucking Italian warrior. No, I'm joking, he's good.
No, it'd be a good fight for the other guy, Adesanya. That's what you want. You want to put him up against these sort of fighters to see if he can cope, and then obviously bump him up another step. So
but that Israel, trust me.
If he's got the goods and he should deliver, is he good enough to get a KO, or you think he'll drag a decision out of it?
No, I think that this will be his first decision of his career. I think.
Okay.
But he's an animal. His build, he's a bit like John Jones with his build, but don't ever compare him. John Jones is a cheat. But he's a different.
Is this the sleeper on the card? Is this the sleeper? Is this the one that people are going to not? Is this the potential show stealer?
Oh, 100%. Could be. This is going to be.
Or is Gaethje true to his word, and that he's going to come out and fire all cylinders like he normally does?
No, I think fight of the night, it's got to be Gaethje. Just the way he fights, he's an animal, isn't he? But he's a fucking human punching bag. But hashtag James Vick said that. I should say quoted, but what was I saying? Actually, you watch his kickboxing fights, he's an animal. He's up Michael Venom Page a bit.
Is he as much of an animal as many out of grown-ups?
I don't know about him. Wiley, sure.
I'm an animal.
Nah, he's not as much of an animal as him. Who is though? But no, Azrael's fucking. Trust me. Watch his fight. He does this thing where he's like, I don't know what he's doing. He's like taunting him or whatever, and he stands it, does his like spinning kick or whatever, and then he's just like walking. He's just walking, like just falls down to the side of the cage, and he's just out. It's fucking great knockout. But he's good.
And
he's
then
I know that he's going to be up there. Future middleweight division. Him, Borachina, they're all going to be up there. And do you know he won a New Zealand lottery when he was younger?
Who?
Azrael. He won a lottery.
Has he?
Yeah. And in New Zealand.
Okay.
And the other thing, on New Zealand and Australia, all their fighters are getting better now. Like, you've got Tyson Pedro coming through. You've got, obviously, Robert Whittaker, champ. Obviously, Mark Hunt's a bit on now, but he's still a good fighter.
Tui Tavasa.
Yeah, he's a G.
And then you obviously got old school Mark Hunt who can still throw a few punches.
Okay, anyway.
You got obviously Megan Anderson's Australian, isn't she?
I think she is actually, yeah.
Yeah, so got.
They're getting better.
Yeah, they will. Right, going on to the co-main, Carlos Condit versus Alex Oliveira.
This is a better fight than whatever Matt Brown and him. Everyone goes, "Oh, Matt Brown." No.
I take it Oliveira's last fight was that absolute brawl with
Medeiros.
Yeah.
Before that, he was on like a 5 or 6 win streak, something like that.
2, 3, 4.
I'll tell you what, I rate Alex Oliveira. I think he'll do Carlos Condit.
Because he had that 2 with Tim Means, didn't he? The no contest, then he beat him.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think Tim Means was beating him originally, like the first fight or whatever, then he got beat. But that Oliveira, I do rate. I think he's better. I think he's better than Matt Brown. So it's a better fight.
Oliveira's alright. If he comes out and fights like he did against that Medeiros, that'll be a fight. I don't like that Carlos Condit. I think he's boring.
Oh no, he does. He brings a war in it. I just don't rate him.
No,
He's
I think
alright.
he's boring.
He's just stayed retired, I think.
He's on a 3-loss streak. He's lost to Lawler, Mayer, and Magny.
Yeah.
And the only win he's got in 5 is Thiago Alves, and before that he lost to Tyron Woodley. So he's lost to Woodley, Lawler, Mayer, and Magny in the last 5.
Wow.
And then before that you got to go back another 3 fights, and he's lost to GSP and Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah. I think after this fight, I think he'll announce his retirement again.
And before that, he beat Nick Diaz as the main event.
And he used to be good, but...
And he's beaten Dan Hardy and Rory McDonald.
Fucking hell. Some good wins.
Yeah, but they were back in 210. 211. And then he had a big injury, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I remember him retiring because he fought like Mayer, didn't he? And then they all said, like, this is title in there, and he lost, and he's off. Obviously he wants to title there, so he went, I'm going to retire.
Yeah, I think he's just a bit boring. So, yeah, and he's 33. Yeah, I think Oliveira will do him. If he brings it like he did in the last fight he had, I think he's got a great chance of winning that. And then pushing himself up the ladder. Right, moving on to the main event now.
I just came 7th.
Great.
4 kills.
Moving on to the main event, you got Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje in the lightweight division. Good matchup. Good fight.
I see it as tougher, take more of a punch, more damage, all that. Gaethje's where he wins it. But Poirier's just a bit more.
I think he's got a better chin in that than what most people think.
Who?
Poirier. Because I think he showed that in that Alvarez fight.
Oh yeah, McGregor knocked out most people. That's why when he last got knocked out. So.
But I think
no,
Alvarez.
I
think he had the beating of Alvarez in that fight until obviously that controversial shit happened.
I thought he was winning that. I wanted a rematch, didn't he? But
I bet you if he beats Gaethje, Alvarez will ask for the rematch because obviously he'll push himself up further, and Alvarez will be like,
He said if he wins this, he wants the title shot.
He ain't getting a title shot.
Yeah, but when you think of his name, you think, wow, he's been a bit of a fucking terror.
There's only one person that's getting the next title shot, and that's once his court battle's been done. That's the only reason he hasn't got it now. The fucking man that don't defend belts.
Yeah, it's like...
Worst champion ever.
What the fuck is this guy doing? No, but...
Conor McGregor, the worst champion ever.
Never defended a belt, has he? But,
Never. Gives them up, or gets them stripped, just to win back. So everyone goes, oh my god, that's the 3rd belt he's won. Well...
Wait, he was... His next fight, because he flew to Brooklyn, obviously to support his mate Arjan and that. Obviously, he got his self-caution car and lost his money and that, I guess. So, they said they were actually like close, really close to a deal. Him and Dos Anjos for the welterweight interim belt. That's fucking mad. What are you doing? Like.
Yeah, but then he would have had to give up another belt again.
Yeah, what is Dos Anjos thinking? Fighting McGregor? He is an animal, McGregor. But why are you fighting McGregor when you've got a title shot sitting? I don't know why he's fighting Coburn. Don't get me wrong, I still think he'll win, but why are you even taking just sit? Unless you want, I know he wants to be active, but I'll just wait for the title. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, I know, but it depends how long. When Woodley ain't fought in ages.
You're lying.
Oh well.
It's a big risk, isn't it? If you lose your fucking title shot.
All right, if you're saying Poirier wins, gets the next title shot, what happens if Gaethje wins then?
No, he can't get the next title shot. I think that if Gaethje wins, you give him a rematch of Alvarez. If Poirier wins, I think you can throw him the title shot. Fuck it. I see it as Ferguson's out for a while, McGregor's out for a while. So you might as well throw Poirier until you knock him down this, because there's few people who want that title shot. There's a McGregor, Ferguson, Poirier, and Alvarez. I think all of them four are fighting for it. So you throw him to Poirier and go, right, when he loses to Khabib or whatever, if he does win, because he does have a chance to be fair. But throw him, then it's one less down. It's like, if the other two main are injured, just throw him the title shot. What's the problem? Fucking hell, it's just 6 weeks, isn't it? If Khabib wants to, he keeps saying he wants to be active and that, but defend your belt if you want to be champ. Throw him. But then again, you look at Poirier, like I said earlier, he looks like he's on a tear, doesn't he? When you think about it, you can't really remember last time he lost. Michael Johnson won it a while ago. But if you look at his list, he ain't actually had that many. Like, he's only had like 2 or 3 wins. I think he's had 2 wins and a draw. Or that thing with Alvarez, whatever it was.
Who?
That Poirier. So, I think, when you think of him...
He beat Perez. He's had a no contest Alvarez. He beat Jim Miller, lost to Johnson, beat Bobby Green, Joe Duffy, Yancy Medeiros, Dhiego Ferreira, and then lost to McGregor. And then he won 3, 4. He won 3 before McGregor, then lost to Cub Swanson, and then lost, beat Holloway in submission, and then won. So.
Since Michael Johnson, his last loss, what has he had after Michael Johnson?
Miller, fight of the night, Alvarez, and Perez, fight of the night. He's had 2 fight of the nights.
So he wins and 1 no contest and then I'm not gonna lie, he's only fought 1 name there, really. Perez not even sure if he was even up there when they fought. Fucking Jim Miller's not even in the top 15, I don't think.
He had 2 wins and a loss in 16, and he had 2 wins and a no contest in 17. So he has 3 fights a year.
That's what I'm saying. So when you think of him, it sounds better than what he's actually done. He win streak ain't even that. It's all right.
Yeah, but Gaethje just leaves himself open.
I know, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he beats Gaethje, he might as well. No, who else is going to fight for title? Unless Tony and McGregor are going to be back soon, and that's like a guarantee. One of them two back in, they'll throw him Alvarez.
The funny thing is, I remember when Gaethje first fought Johnson, that he was getting bullied, and then somehow come back out of nowhere and won it.
Oh no, I said that. Michael Johnson, in my eyes, if I remember rightly, I thought Michael Johnson was winning it.
And then he's gone out with the same style against Alvarez, and sort of done alright against him, but Alvarez just destroyed him with an excellent bodywork.
Yeah, and at the end, but Alvarez, if that Alvarez turned up against Poirier, I think Alvarez would have won that fight. But
would he have won that fight against McGregor if he turned up and done that?
No, I don't think he beats McGregor. He gets hurt too much. McGregor's takedown defense is too good. And McGregor, you say what you want about him, like he doesn't defend. Yeah, fair enough. He is a bit of a dickhead sometimes, but fuck, he's a hell of a fighter, isn't he? Yeah,
he's a good fighter, but it just winds me up how it's just a spin doctor on him. What he does, he just spins it. He's one of them that he could fucking lose the next 10 fights and still make it sound like that he's better than everyone. It's just...
Yeah, that's what he does, isn't it? That's how he gets
Yeah, but it's annoying because he's like, I'm the best there is, defend the belt then against him. No, fuck that, I'm going to fight him at fucking heavyweight. I'm going to go for Cain Velasquez. You're like, what? Fuck off. He'll eat you up for breakfast, you cunt. And he's like, no, he fucking won't. I'll put on all the pounds. And then just before I'm about to fight, I'm going to fight a boxing fight with Mayweather. You won't. He'll be fucking fighting the Olympic. He'll be doing swimming in the Olympics next. For Ireland.
Yeah. Did you go and golf? Doing golf at the Masters?
It'll be at the World Cup with Ireland in Russia, even though they're not even there. It'll just fly a team over. It'll fly a team over and just kick off a team like Panama. They'll go, fuck off, we're here now. And start trying to play football.
Yeah, but McGregor, to be fair, I think Barboza, I think he does beat. Right.
Nick Diaz going to fight this year, I reckon.
Oh yeah, because he's allowed his date he's allowed to fight is 420, and obviously Boots like Sweden it's a sign all this, but if they fight, you got to put the brothers on together. That's what I think.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'd love to go to that card,
Gilbert
but I won't be able to.
On the Gilbert Melendez on the prelim for their pal. Pro Diaz the main event against McGregor, and Pro Nick Diaz against depending if he wins or not. At the end of the year, and throw him with Woodley if he wins his next fight or that as a title shot.
Look, bring back the Diaz trilogy and let Diaz wrap this trilogy up and get it done, buried. But anyway, back to Poirier Gaethje. Great fight. Both stand up, so it'll be a stand up fight, an absolute brawl, I think. I take it it'll be a fight, another 5-rounder as well. I take it because the main event. Yeah. Who are you gonna go with?
I think Poirier's technically and all that. I think he's been a bit of terror. He's only got better lately, so I think I'm gonna go for
I fancy Poirier, just because I think technically he'll be clever with how he fights. Where Gaethje's a bit wild. So I think he's gonna go DJ Khaled on him with his wild thoughts.
Yeah, I think
See, that joke got past him there because he's watching Fortnite or playing. He normally slated me for that.
Mate, he's just jumped off and he's got one life left. There's only 3 people left. Yeah, he's dead. No, but I'm saying, what are you saying?
You're on your own then, mate. I can't help you. I've already said what I'm about to say. You should be listening.
No, I was listening. Just
saying, I said Poirier technically better, where Gaethje's a bit wild in his fighting.
Yeah, DJ Khaled, wild thoughts. Yeah, good one.
Alright, cheers for that. So he's going with Poirier, I'm going with Poirier. Before we wrap this up, which has been an absolute...
Poirier Gaethje.
Huh?
What would you do with Poirier Gaethje?
What do you mean?
Well, whoever wins. Say, what would you do with Gaethje if he wins? What would you do with Poirier if he wins?
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant because it ain't going to happen. Whatever you think is going to happen, it ain't going to happen.
I'd say, alright, if they're both throwing you out ready, this is my final answer. Throwing them both, the winner to Alvarez, the winner of them two, get the next title shot. That's what I'm saying. Go. You can put on the bets now.
Right, this week's bets for the weekend. Right, we'll start with my fourfold. I've gone with Shana Dobson with a KO win. I've got Brad Tavares with a KO win. I've got Michelle Waterson with a submission win. And I've gone with a Poirier out-and-out win.
Oh, that's going to be money, isn't it?
£280 for a tenner.
No, ain't that much.
Oh, says he that's going to win £28. Fucking hell. With one more fighter.
No, you've got one more fighter.
Well, that's what I mean, with one less fight. That's what I'm saying. I get 280.
Yeah, but all I'm doing is wins. You're doing finishes, all that.
Yeah, because I'm confident in my picks.
Quick 30 quid.
Yeah, I'm confident in my picks. Right, Ronaldo's gone with his treble of Luke Saunders, Matthew Lopez, and Israel Adesanya. A tenner gets you 28.78. I haven't changed the title on that betting slip. My bad. I'm going to do it now.
Great. Might as well change it next week's.
Well, the thing is, for next week, you've got to we have to do it early-ish because I've got my tournament.
That's fine.
And I fly up on the Thursday. So.
Well, you want to do it a day, like days earlier, or do you mean like hours earlier?
Well, I'll have to discuss it with you and let you know when, because I won't be able to take the mic with me. Right, I've corrected it now, so you'll now see it's UFC on Fox 29 bets at the top. Yep, You got his treble, my fourfold. They've been up long enough. If you need to check them, rewind it back and pause the video. We'll go back to us. Next week's fight card is Lee, innit?
Yeah, Lee Barboza. Great fight. Can't wait to pull it. I think Lee will win this.
So, where's that being fought?
Not a clue. If you tell me, I'll remember, but not a clue.
If I tell you, you'll remember. Classic. It's in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Oh yeah, it was actually. Yeah, they're ringing their bells.
So,
Did you see their stare down?
no, I haven't seen any of it because I've been
Greatest stare
busy
down
with
I've
Thai
ever
New
seen.
Year.
Oh, fuck off.
So yeah, we'll be back on possibly the same sort of time next week for, I guess it's UFC Fight Night 129.
Come on, Lee.
Barboza Lee. But we'll obviously I'll put up the video with what time it will kick on for the subscribers that we've got. Yeah, if you're watching a card this week, enjoy. If you get fancy putting a flutter and having a bet with our bets, then obviously crack on with that. Yeah, apologies we haven't been on the last few weeks just because there's been no cards, and with the time difference, like I say, I'm not getting up at 4 in the morning. No chance.
He doesn't care about you lot enough. You 12, 19 subscribers.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
brilliant.
yeah.
That's 17 making new accounts.
What?
I'm joking. We obviously ain't that sad.
Because you've got 18,
Wow.
you told me.
Nah.
We peaked at a 4, so it's not
What we
too.
picked at?
4 viewers.
What the fuck? That's a joke, isn't it?
We dipped out for 2 minutes because of the stream on the internet strength. Anyway,
What minutes did we dip out?
literally 2-3 minutes ago.
Ah.
So probably on the bets. We'll leave it at that. Hopefully we'll get back into the swing of it again now, because we've got a few cards coming up.
I'll probably put on a better performance next week.
Ain't there a card straight after the Lee Barboza one as well?
Yeah.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. There's a break, and it's Nunes Pennington.
Yeah.
And then you got one after the one after. So then you got 4 weeks in a row. You'll have Usman, Ponzinibbio, Thompson versus Till, Riviera, Moret, Whitaker, Romero, and then there's a break before Cowboy versus Edwards.
But
And you got the Ultimate Fighter finale in June, and then Miocic Cormier.
I didn't want to put on a good performance this week. Well, I wasn't bothered because
You don't care about you.
No, I didn't know if I was going to get up.
What do you mean get up? It's fucking...
Last week
It's midnight now. It's midnight midnight now. Right. Cheers for watching, tuning in. If you end up watching, cheers. Subscribe, like, all that crap. And we're out. We'll see you next week.